All around the world's coast, there are low-lying lands that fill with water and support a bountiful abundance of wildlife. Throughout Australia, these wetlands hold important ecosystem services, such as tourism, recreation, livelihoods, and also providing valuable habitats for native and migratory species. Agricultural industry and expanding coastal developments can increase nutrient and herbicide discharge in creeks and rivers, altering the natural system and the way it functions. For this reason, natural filtration by wetlands is particularly important along the northeastern coast of Australia, where waters flow out to the Great Barrier Reef, carrying many nutrients, sediments, and often pollutants. However, there are many threats to coastal wetlands, including poor water quality, changes to flow regimes, invasive plants and feral animals, just to name a few. Weeds can overrun the natural wetland, affecting waterways and reducing the available habitat for native animals. In northern Australia, olive hymenacne is one of the worst semi-aquatic invasive weeds found in wetlands. Invasive animals like wild pigs also cause significant habitat degradation, increasing competition, predation, and disease transmission. All of these factors threaten the natural biodiversity and structure of wetland habitats and their wildlife. And as more wetlands are affected along the Queensland coast, the problem grows. Some wetlands have good potential for repair, with people working together to return them to a more natural and functional system. A good example of this is Insulator Creek wetland, near Ingham in far north Queensland. The 40-hectare freshwater wetland at Insulator Creek was overrun with invasive hymenacne weeds, choking the natural water flow and affecting the water quality. The weeds in this wetland were confined to a manageable area, making it an ideal candidate for repair. A team of people got together to address the problem, including traditional owners, researchers, natural resource management organisations, and landholders like Sam and Santo Lamari.
Pretty well, the project, what I like to see is back to its natural state, so that environment is back to what it used to be. So the bird life, the plants and all that integrate with one another. And it's nothing better than seeing natural state and having wildlife, plants and everything as part of the environment, and gives people a better understanding what was here before and what can be here. And also learning about problems about the wetlands, with runoffs and all that. That's all part of it, and that's something that we're passionate about too now, because we're a part of a big environment, not just a small environment.
With funding support from the Queensland Government's Everyone's Environment grant, they outlined a plan to reduce the invasive weeds, allowing natural plants and animals to recover. The burn spray method was used, which is suitable for non-wooded, ephemeral wetlands and requires the use of grass-selective herbicides. This method works to promote native species, providing them with assistance to outcompete invasive species, promoting a healthy, functioning system that is better able to be naturally self-sustaining. Put quite simply, it involves burning as soon after the wet as possible, allowing sunlight to reach the still moist soil. This stimulates the native seed bank of sedges, rushes and reeds, allowing them to grow and gradually displace the invasive weeds. Repeated targeted spraying with a grass-selective herbicide then follows to kill any emerging or adult plants. When standing water is again present, the burn spray process stops, allowing the natural plants to recharge and recover. For this method, the burn spray process needs to be repeated each year for 3 to 5 years, or until such time as either an early season fire will no longer carry, or the area is dominated by more than 60 to 70% coverage of native species. At this point, you should cease burning the wetland and just continue with regular spot spraying using a selective herbicide. Spot spraying of weeds is likely to be required on an ongoing basis, although the time spent and herbicide used undertaking this activity should be greatly reduced each year. Spraying costs may vary between $300 to $600 per hectare. Depending on the wetland conditions, significant results can be seen in as little as 12 months, and this project can often be conducted with neighbours and support from the local community.
by bringing the community together, it makes it a lot easier in the short term. So this is definitely a model I'd recommend, an approach we take, whereby we all work together, everyone from the universities to the school education groups to Terrain NRM, the individual landholders, the traditional owners, all working together to try and fix these places one at a time. It's a real community effort.
This simple, relatively quick and cost-effective method is a good option to help re-establish natural wetlands in key coastal zones. Insulator Creek Wetland has had incredible native habitat recovery in only 3 years, with increased water flow and greater numbers of native flora and fauna within the wetland.